Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Be kind.
Depending on where you are watching from, I greet you according to your time zone. Welcome to this program. Where you are watching from, wherever you are watching from, as you are joining the video, kindly tap the screen, share the video. We are back again. Of course, we do this like three times in a week if we are actually free, but we know that we come here mostly every week. And I want you, wherever you are watching from, to share the video, like the video, so the algorithm will do the work of sharing as well and notifying people that we are here. Of course, most of the time when we do this, we do not, get more interaction. But today I am going to take more of questions. If you have one, I'm going to take more of questions. If you have one, questions, and I am going to answer all those questions because I saw there were a whole lot of questions from different people. In the previous video that we did, there was a whole lot of question. That's why I am going to start. I'm going to also consider answering questions. If you have questions, kindly put it down wherever you're watching from. I'm going to answer the question if you ask the question. And we also saw a lot of criticism, and then criticism is also good. And we also saw a lot of insults from those who are overly indoctrinated. So, of course, we are actually expecting to see that. And that's the way it is. When you are overly indoctrinated, when you hear the real stuff, when you hear the real truth, it will actually, affect your understanding or your mind. So some of you who cannot, you know, don't know how to react to the truth, they will insult or they will criticize. But it is actually my drive. I always like to stand on the path where there is no a lot of people who will believe me. That's where I always want to stand. As long as we continue to push the truth and the reality, because it is no longer the era to believe. It is the era for us to actually go into in-depth research and find the truth by ourselves. Of course, I give this knowledge for free, and that's why many people might not understand the value of it, because people believe it is all about coming online and speaking, but this is not about it. It is about waking people up from their slumber, making you to realize and understand that everything that you are looking for is actually on the surface. It is not far from you. It is just for you to use your common sense and logic in order to decipher, because it is right in front of you. You cannot understand it. This, the picture you see in this on the screen right now, it is the picture that the malevolent decided to give us and call it the picture of our planet Earth, which they place it on spherical, they made it a sphere, which is actually not the way it is. And this is spherical Earth, it is not actually, hasn't been there for a very long time. It is just that group of malevolent who decided that they will indoctrinate the world by giving them things that are actually opposite to what reality is all about. It is exactly as a result of that. That's why you see the spherical earth right in front of you. The other side of it, I decided to actually, make it to look like a moon, but both of them are the same thing. I just decided to make it look like a moon so that we will understand that everything we've been seeing is actually, a kind of 3D drawing and imaging. So that's exactly what we are exposed to. That is not our reality. Because if you think about, like, each and every time I come online, I always try to use what we have at our disposal, such as, depicting the Milky Way to, to make you understand what is actually presented in the Milky Way. And secondly, we are using, the oldest origin of mechanic, or to actually, analyze our reality, because those are the things that we can use to analyze this, our realities. Because before, remember that people who lived long enough knows exactly what we are talking about. The older generation of our planet Earth and the mechanics of nature, we will be able to innovate, we will be able to innovate, we will be able to invent new things, new technologies, because there is an interconnectedness, from the technology, from the existence of the, from the, the way our planet is positioned to the magnetic field of the planet, and everything is intertwined. So when you understand one, you will be able to recreate. So that's exactly why the malevolent is trying to position everything in a false way, in a way that that doesn't exist, so that you will never figure it out. It is quite easy to create a mathematics to actually back up whatever you claim it is there, because what they were able to do is to create a mathematics or equation that will back up their whatever they are going to present to you, so that by the time you will be solving this equation, you will not even contextualize it to that which they have used or they have presented to you in order to lie to you. That's why people who are actually overly educated, they will never know the truth, because they will never be free, because they went so deep in order to be indoctrinated. They will actually be very good in their indoctrination, but they will never be very good when it comes to reality. That's exactly what we're doing. And why I am actually doing this, I am doing it in a way that it will be clear to a layman. Because when we go to school, there are people who are excluded, people who does not have, opportunity to go to school. Some of them, they are actually excluded because of people who does not understand indoctrination. They are one way or the other excluded, because what they call knowledge is actually illiteracy, and what they call illiteracy sometimes could be knowledge. That's how our world, is today, from the 16th century. Now, I want you to understand that from the setup of our, galaxy, if we look at our galaxy today, we see the positions of the planets. It is plain to see that the positions of our planet in our galaxy, they are actually layered. Just like the easiest way for you to understand what I'm talking about, if you have a wall clock at home, I want you to open that wall clock where the mechanism is. Remember that on top of it, where there is a glass on top, the glass represents the dome, the firmament, the thing that rotates the second and the hour hands. Those represent the equator. Now you calculate from 12 down to 6, from 12:1 to 6. You actually, the other, that side, you just call one side the north, and the other side you call it the south. So it is something that depicts our reality, but we are so sophisticated that we cannot figure it out. So when we call the from 1 to 6 the north, and call from 11 to 6 the south, those are the areas of the magnetic field. And now when we actually look at it, you see that our wall clock depicts what is on top. The surface of your wall clock depicts what is on top, and you can call that second hand the sun or the moon because they move in sequence. They move like them. So that's exactly what they signify, because the sun and the moon, the sun actually, signifies during the day, the moon signifies during the night. So that's exactly, they are actually working on shift. They replace each other. So now, when you look at the wall clock, you find out that the glass there represents the dome, and the body of the clock where the numbers are represent our flat surface, our flat plane. Now beneath the clock, the mechanism beneath the clock represent the other planet that is actually connected to the planet Earth. Those are the way you can understand our galaxy. Now, if you understand that beneath the clock there are other planets, those mechanisms you see there, they represent planets. Now, when you are actually trying to understand this planet, or you go to the Milky Way, you see where they place the sun, because that is what they have actually depicted and given to us. This was invention that happened, in the 16th century, where they adopted these things. But in the ancient, Egyptian, cosmology, they always knew that there was a flat plane. They always knew that the earth is in the middle. To be honest with you, before I figured this out, it was today that I actually started researching to know what went wrong, that I found out that even ancient Egyptians, they knew that the earth was in the middle. I never knew, but I figured it out before I knew. Look at that. Now, if they knew that the earth was in the middle of the galaxy, that the sun was the one orbiting the earth, not the earth orbiting the sun. Now, this theory of, will I call it heliocentric theory, that talks about the earth orbiting the sun. Think about it. Does it make sense to you? The earth orbits the sun, while the sun is also orbiting the earth. How does it correspond? If the earth is actually, rotating, why is it that the sun remains, the position of the east remains the position of the east each time you wake up? Why is it that the position of the north remains the position of the north each time you sleep and wake up? Whether you sleep, whether you wake up, anytime you look towards that area, you see that it is still the same position of the east, west, north, and south. Why aren't they changing? This is one of the things that red flag this movement of the earth. They say that the earth moves orbit the sun, which is a big lie, because the earth is a flat plane, a flat disk that does not, rotate. It does not rotate. The sun is not in the middle of the galaxy. The sun is in between the galaxy. The sun is multitasking. The sun is multitasking. That's why, because it is a big plasma, and it is also serving the earth. It is also serving the planets close to earth. So in our galaxy, the sun is basically serving, many planets in our galaxy. So that particular sun is serving, different planets in our galaxy in different times. So, and it is depicted in the origin of the mechanics. It is depicted there by the ancient Egyptians, cosmologians. Now, then the Greeks decided to change it. And when they changed it, the church adopted it in 16th century. Now, after adopting it, that's exactly how they started, they actually created this spherical earth that we have today. And now let's be realistic. Think about this spherical earth that we have today, the spherical earth that cannot enable tectonic shift. That is number one thing, the number one thing that you must understand. Spherical earth cannot enable the tectonic shift without collapsing. Because, spherical earth, I'm going to actually depict, I'm going to give you a depiction of what spherical earth is like. And now, when you see it now, you will judge the theory that, because I call the speech theory and I'm going to practicalize it with my computer. I'm going to draw them to you, for you, and you will see them. Now, if you think about the spherical earth, it means that we are living upside and down. So people who are in the higher altitude, they are going to collapse whenever there will be a tectonic shift. They can collapse when there is a tectonic shift. If you want to believe this idea that suggests that we are living in a sphere, third-dimensional sphere or three-dimensional sphere, I want you to rethink. And you believe, because if you believe we are living in a sphere, you will also believe that the sun is in the middle of the galaxy, that the rest of the planets orbit the sun, which is actually a fiction that, was gazetted basically adopted by, in your education system in the 16th century. It is not the reality. It is not the reality. Many may argue that it is the rotation of the earth that actually, bring different seasons of the year. No, that's not true. The rotation of the earth is not bringing different seasons of the year. And what brings different seasons of the year has everything to do with the sun and the ocean. And when you see the movement in your Milky Way, you should understand the ocean is actually what you see moving. The movement of the ocean, how the ocean is actually transporting warm water from the equator to the Arctic region in order to cool it, and transporting the colder water from the Arctic region to the equator, from the icy area to the equator, back to the equator. So those are the things that changes the seasons. Those are the things that brings about season, when the sun is actually showing us the other side that is not actually very hot. It actually have effect affect our seasons and our weather for the day. So if you want to understand that the earth does not move, and the planet Earth is the mother of all the planets in our galaxy, planet Earth is in the higher altitude, in the higher altitude, from every other planet in our galaxy. I am going to prove it to you because I am going to illustrate. I'm going to illustrate that in front of you right now, but I want you to get to the hang of what I am talking about. Planet Earth gave birth to every other planet within our galaxy. How? Because the planet Earth, there was a time when there was a tectonic shift. During this tectonic shift, and you will understand that the ice wall, which is Antarctica, was cleaved onto Africa. Cleaved onto Africa. The North America, the North America, South America, they were cleaved onto Africa as well. On the North America was cleaved on the chain, which is what they called the western part, of African map. The western part of African map, the North America was there. If you check those shapes, you will see that if you take South America, if you take South America, place it on the chain of this western part of Africa, on the chain, you will see it will fit properly. Now you bring up Antarctica where it is today, bring it, across the ocean, close to where you see as a, is it, where is that, on the eastern part? On the eastern part, southeast part of Africa, you place it there. On the southeast part of Africa, you place Antarctica there. If you place Antarctica there, it is within there is Madagascar on top of it, and there is Madagascar is close to the Horn, and then you find Mozambique, Zimbabwe. Then if you head to the middle, south, you find Cape Town, which is South Africa, modern day South Africa. Now, all these places were together before the tectonic shift. So think about the tectonic shift happening in a three-dimensional space. Those who are in the higher altitude, how will they balance? How will they still be balancing, or how will they survive if there is a tectonic shift that moves a land mass? It moves a land mass. Now, not only that it is moving a land mass, when an energy, of course, you might call it electricity, when it is moving, it is expanding, and it is always looking for where it will compact. If it cannot find a place to compact, that means it will continue to expand. Think about when a landmass is moving and it is not compacting, what do you think it will do? It will continue to move, creating oceans. Now, if it moved Antarctica, it moved Madagascar, it moved Middle East, it moved India, it moved Australia, it moved everything. Now it also moved Garden of Eden. I finally found that out. And moved Garden of Eden out of Earth. It moved Garden of Eden out of Earth because it moved Garden of Eden towards this Antarctica side. Garden of Eden is no longer in the earth that we know today. It is no longer there because the tectonic shift moved all these things. And the more it is moving, the more a new planet is being born. Because remember, there is no beginning, there is no end. So continuous tectonic shift. Remember where Antarctica was and how far it has moved from where it was. It has moved more than 6,000 kilometers from where it was. It has moved more than 6,000 kilometers. Think about it. Now, if it has moved that far from where it was, how do you think that those landmass that is moving and moving even moved across because when they are moving, they are creating ocean. Now it moved across what they call the Southern Ocean today. Where is the position of Antarctica? Think about it. If there is no place where that land is going to compact, it will continue to move until it moves away from the boundaries of Earth. Now, people may say it creates continents because it moves to north. It created Northern America, or North America moves the other one to the south. It created South America. The same applicable to those who are actually in the east and the so-called Middle East. So it is the movement, the tectonic shift that moves them there. Now, if it continues to move, where does it compact? It can only compact into another planet. It can only compact into another planet. Therefore, planet Earth and tectonic shift created all the planets in our galaxy. All the planets in our galaxy. Many people believe that planet Earth is the actually the newest planet on board, but that's not the truth. Planet Earth has been there. It has been there. That's why it's on the higher altitude. The rest of them is beneath planet Earth. And the planet Earth is in the middle. In the middle, the rest of them are below. Underneath planet Earth. And don't forget, they are underneath planet Earth, but they still have their firmament. They still have their sky. How is that possible? How is it possible? Now look up to your sky. You see that even in the religious book, which is not religious book, in the book they say that heaven is my throne. Earth is my footstool. Think about that, think about that theory. Heaven is my heaven is my throne. Earth is my footstool. When you consider that theory, you will know that if there is something above us, there is a kind of a planet above us, above our firmament. Because those who are beneath earth, when they look up, they will still see firmament. They won't see that there is a land on top of them. They see firmament, and they know that there is ocean on top of them. That's why they talk about. That's why they talk about empire, or will I say the lost empire or the lost civilization beneath the ocean. So now, if you think about the way it is within our Arctic region, within our ice wall, there must be a gate that takes you to underground planet, because you must exit that through somewhere in order to get to that planet beneath our earth. Now, if you think about the ice wall, if we think about the ice wall, let's see if I will pull it up. I am going to pull it up so that you will see, because what is there actually, it is wonderful. When you imagine what I'm talking about, when you imagine what I'm talking about, it is unimaginable, it is unbelievable, but it is there. That's the way it is. Layer by layer, but we still see the same thing above. Everything above remains the same. But when we think about it in our own perspective, you will find it impossible. And that's why it is easy for those who knows to change the story and give us a different story. Give us a different story. That's exactly. If anybody tells you that the earth is actually a sphere, ask them a simple question. The tectonic shift that continuously happen, that is still happening, where does it compact? Just a question you need to ask them. Where does it compact? Because the more it is moving, expanding, it needs a place to compact. If it does not see a place, it continues to create more land mass, expand the ocean. So expand it beyond to where? It expanded to create other planets. That's what it does. That's where it compacts. It is wonderful. So when we are going to imagine going to this other planet, where they might be calling, maybe that's exactly where they might be calling the ancient civilization. I want those who knows how to do out-of-body experience, maybe you will find your way to go check it out, because you cannot physically check it out, right? You can't. If you go check it out, they remove you off the radar. So if you know how to do that, you might want to check it out. So within this Arctic region and within this Antarctica, it holds a whole lot of secret that if we find out, our lives will never remain the same. Our lives will never remain the same. Which, when I pull this up, let me try to show you something. Let me try to show it on the phone before we go to the depiction that we're going to basically do. We're going to do a whole lot of, depiction. This is what they have given to us. They gave to us, imagine what they gave to us. This is what they gave to us, the North and the South Pole, but look at this. This is basically what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is our flat plane. But now what it This mountain you see in front of you depicts the North and the South Pole. The middle is the equator. The middle, is the equator. But that's not exactly what I'm looking for. There is something I am looking for. I want to show you this so that you will know how the planet Earth is expanding, and the expansion of something that actually, boggles the mind. Let me first. Look at this. If you look at this map, it is called the Pannonia map. This map is basically around maybe 1 billion years. 1 billion years. This map, before the shift, continued. Look at this map. You see, I want you to see the difference between this map and your conventional map. This was before the shift happened. Now, because there are things that we need to do within our map in order to set back our map to reality. The position of this north and south, we need to bring it to I want you to know how to position your north and south. How to position your north and south. North and south is not the head and the legs. North and south is about the things that balance the body. Your two arms or your two legs is what balance the body. It is not the head and the feet. So they place the north in the head, and they place the south in the feet, which is inaccurate. It is what balance the body, your legs. So they cannot be on top and down. They can only be on the other side, left and right. They can only be found left and the right, not top and the bottom. No, it is invalid setup. Of course, you might not understand exactly what I'm talking about. You might not understand what I'm talking about. But now look at this map. I believe you can see where there is Africa. You can see where they called Arabia. It was still part of the Africa. You can see India. Now look at the Antarctica. Antarctica is connected to, the Antarctica we know is actually still connected to the South America, even though both of them moved, but they are still connected to each other, because from South America, which is from Argentina, you will see that Hitler escaped through Argentina into Antarctica. When Hitler was running for his life, he escaped through Antarctica into Argentina into Antarctica. So those two places still have their links, even though they moved, but they still have their links. Now look at it. They moved away, very far away from the Africa. Now, Madagascar also shifted. I believe you can see those names because it's labeled. You can see them. So when these places were moving, you'll find out that they moved. If they could not find a place to compact, there are possibility that they might collapse. But because the more they are moving, the more they are creating ocean, and the more the ocean is created, the more they are moving, and they move beyond the ice wall. They actually create other planets. Now, when we look at the planet Mars, which is the planet that is actually, very popular, that we talk about, because we know that planet Mars and planet Earth, they share a lot of relationship. The reason why they share a lot of relationship is that there are stuff from there, people from there that actually, came into planet Earth and do their own stuff. And now today they are showing us planet Mars as a place which is desolate. They are showing us planet Mars as a place which is actually, red planet or something like that. They are showing us planet Earth as if it's a place that is inhabitable. Do you believe that? Do we really believe that it is inhabitable? I don't believe that it is inhabitable, because they might be showing us opposite of what planet Mars looks like. Could remember that these people who are actually, in charge of everything, including our education curriculum, they are warmongers. Those are warmongers. Those are the people in charge of money. Those are the people who make decisions which side inflation is going to, go. Those are the people who decide which side, things are going to happen badly. So those people, do you think that they are actually preserving those areas, because it is quite accessible to them? Do you think they are preserving it when they cause war, Armageddon, in this planet Earth? They will escape to there. Think about, such things, because why would they be hiding those areas? They will go there and have a holiday, and the rest. Maybe their underground tunnel leads takes them to those areas. Because I know people have their own underground tunnels. Maybe it takes them to those areas because they are beneath our planet, but they are in a specific location. They are in a specific location that the ocean is on top of them. Ocean is on top of them. And the planet Mars is said to be having a harsh weather condition. A harsh weather condition, but the gods came from there. Gods that influence Earth, gods that created different species of human being came from Mars. And how do you think that gods will come from Mars through the sky and taking up earthlings, women from Earth, to go and mate and create different species? Do you think it is really easy for them to come from the sky, kidnap women, just go back, or maybe bring them back later? Because there is a gateway. There is a gateway where they use to come to Earth, and they use the same gateway to go back to their realm. It is not about rockets. They don't use rocket. Look at our Milky Way and analyze it logically. Because I'm going to depict that Milky Way where it is not going to, you're not going to see it like a wave. You're going to see it like you're going to see it like a circle. So that you will analyze it by yourself in order to understand exactly what we are talking about. Garden of Eden is no longer in our realm. It has been moved. I was thinking, because I've been looking for that Garden of Eden, and I knew it was within this modern day South Africa. It was within modern day South Africa, but it has moved. It moved while Antarctica and South America was moving. It moved away from Africa. It's no longer there. And it's not in North America. It is not in South America. Where is it? It has crossed. It has moved away. Where will it be? So look at these places you see in the map. You will understand that the things that move Antarctica from Mozambique, the things that move Antarctica away from India, the thing that move Antarctica away from Australia, the thing that move Antarctica away from, is it the today's so-called east or southeast of South Africa. The thing that moved Antarctica away from them moved the garden and compact into another realm. It compacted into another realm. Now, second thing, let me bring another map that might actually give us a sense of what we are looking for. Let me, so that I will analyze that map in a way you will understand it. I know people will not understand this, what we're doing here, because it comes for free. And apparently, most people believe that what you don't pay for is not useful. It is only what you pay for, and what you pay more expensive to buy is more useful. That's the narrative of created for for the indoctrinated people. But that's by the way we continue to move. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you. But one day you will fight. You will understand. You will understand, and then maybe that time it might be too late for you to understand it. It might no longer be for free. So let me find out what we're. Let me find this map. I want to show you. Now, when we look at this, this is our galaxy. This is our galaxy. This is what you see in the Milky Way galaxy. It is our galaxy. And you will see there are gates here. This galaxy is ours, and the planet Earth is in the middle. If you count from the smallest, ice wall here, count 1, 2, 3. The third one is the axis where the sun moves. That's where the sun moves. But they always place the sun in the position of the smallest ice wall, which is planet Earth. They always place the sun within that position, telling you that the sun is in the middle. Every other planet orbit around the sun, orbit the sun. And not only that they orbit the sun is also running more than 200 200 kilometers per second. So think about it. But in your reality, that is their theory. Is it heliocentric theory? In our own reality here, the Earth is in the middle of our galaxy, and the Earth is the one shifting and compacting into other planets, and the Earth is in the higher altitude. We are living in a magical world. We are living in a magical world. So if you look at this, this is exactly, it depicts what we have as our Milky Way. But now, it is no longer milking here. It is not milking here. That's why you cannot contextualize it with your Milky Way. It is not milking. It is just, looking at you plain in a plain sight for you to see what's going on here. So now ask yourself, in that thing they call Milky Way moving, what could be moving within these things you see in front of your screen? Isn't it the blue areas? Couldn't it be the the areas that were the movement of the water, the way the water is moving? Isn't it the way the water is moving? Now let's bring another thing. Let's bring if we look at this, if we look at this, which exactly what you see here depicts exactly what I'm talking about. You see our Milky Way. If we use this as our Milky Way, look at the middle where they place the sun. Remove that sun there, place the earth there. Take the sun and place it after counting 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. The third axis is where the sun's supposed to be. And now you see the star, you see where there is a light, shining on top from the Milky Way, on the sky of the Milky Way. Look at that place the light is shining. Call it the sky. Look beneath this Milky Way. You see another light reflecting beneath the Milky Way. Call it another sky. Now, you look at the axis with different colors. That's exactly what I showed you, initially. Look at the axis with different colors. Different colors. When it changes color, is a new planet. When it changes color, is a new planet. But many people might think that what we showed you initially before this Milky Way is that all of that is mostly a place that is part of planet Earth, unexplored. No, those are planets. We live in a place like this. We live in a place like this, the flat plane with a firmament. The firmament is what protect us from the harsh weather condition out of space. The firmament protects us, and the firmament does not, the firmament is quite huge. It has no beginning, it has no end. It is quite huge. So look at this. This is the only thing that can have a tectonic shift. And nothing, not much will collapse. Not much will collapse. We know we have earthquake, but imagine earthquake happening, on a higher altitude. How can you explain that if we're living in a spherical earth? Because spherical earth means that there are people who are living up, higher altitude, other people on the side, then the other ones on the level. That's it, upside down. I have depicted it there was a time I depicted it, and I made a post like that, upside down. That's what they claim we are living. But now the real upside down is the next planet that is beneath the planet Earth. The planet that is beneath the planet Earth. A peaceful planet. A peaceful planet where there is no war. Peaceful planet where there is nothing like, because they have transcended this materialism and fighting for power and all that, because they've been doing that, and they are the ones, they have influence on our world. They have influence on our world because they are now using the energy of the planet Earth. Those who hate each other and like warring and like competition, not just a competition, a toxic competition. That's exactly what we do to ourselves here on Earth. Us the planet Mars. This is exactly what they don't even show us there is a technology like this there. They don't show us technology like this there, but there is more of this technology like this. There is more of this technology like this. And a beautiful planet. A beautiful planet. That is planet Mars. They show us something differently. That's it. We know that they called extraterrestrial planet Mars. Planet Mars, according to the ancient Sumerian tablets or ancient Sumerian, story, you will understand that planet Mars were places for the Igigi who rebelled before the alteration and the creation of different species of human being, which actually went against the order of the nature. That's why we are living in a materialistic world and suffering the brunt, bearing the brunt of this earth code that was actually changed by the Anunnakis or extraterrestrial. We are paying the price of what they have done. When I tell people that we are God, just like those Anunnaki call themselves God, we are God. We are God. It's just that we are God that's still trying to discover ourselves because we don't know our purpose yet. We are able to create. We are able to procreate. We are able to recreate. We are able to invent. We are God. And there is only one source. The source of creation. That is the I am that I am. That's when you times 1 by 1 and get 2. So, if we can understand that we are God, but we need to transcend this materialistic world for our God in us to manifest, we will no longer be used by malevolent, because if we understand the concept of the devil, the Satan and the devil is actually manifestation of the sentence being. Because I know I've spoken about this before, that the source has no sentence. Otherwise, it has sentence, because saying that it has no sentence, simply means that it does not encompass all things. It encompasses all things, but mute some of the features, because if he had sentence, because the only thing that made us to be weak is because we are conscious. We are aware. That's what made us weak. If we were not aware, we cannot be weak. We cannot be scared. We cannot feel pain, but we are aware. And what gives you sentience? It is the interaction of atom in a living organism help them to develop sentience, and sentience itself, it's not alive in atom. Knowing that atom is the building block of all matter, everything in existence is basically created from atom. Now, atom sentience is dormant, or it is non-existence, but interaction of this same atom that does not have sentience help living organism to develop sentience, enable them to feel, be aware. So when you think about these things, you think about the source of creation. He does not work in a real time. He is guarded by immutable laws. It's like a computer code. It is like a computer code. So the way we interact with him or with it, it is not him, it is not she, it is it. The way we interact with it, it is actually wrong. That's why I have a message that talks about the God of the South and the God of the North. It is quite different gods. The God of the but now, before we will go to that teaching, we need to actually put the map correctly. If we put the map correctly, so that you will know where you are on the map, for you to understand that it is quite different things. There is mostly I would say that there is the source is bound by immutable laws, and the source, the laws, is the law called the law of nature. The law of nature, the law that anything that you do, there is always a repercussion from anything you do. There is consequences. The laws that promote reciprocity, law of reciprocity. So this the source is bound by these laws. If you take care of your ecosystem takes care of you. If you love someone, you'll receive love in the end. If you take care of someone, you will be taken care of. Anything that you do has its own reciprocity. It will end up coming to you. Anything, do it good, do it bad, it end up coming to you. Now, sentience, makes living organism to be called the devil. Living organism to be called the devil, because now you are aware of fiat money. You are aware that fiat money gives you power. You now begin to look for this fiat money. It doesn't matter whom you hurt. It doesn't matter whom you war. It doesn't matter how many wars you create. You want this fiat money. You want power, because you are a sentient being. And that's why we cannot discover the God in us, because we allow our emotions, because sentience comes with emotion, to get the best of us. That's why we cannot discover the God that we are. The day we transcend this materialistic world and understand that everything in existence must be looked after, the ecosystem must be protected. Before you invent any technology, you must know if it is eco-friendly. Listen to it. These people, they destroyed our ecosystem with the anti-nature technology that they started bringing up. And the reason why they started bringing it up, so that they will continue to thrive in creating fiat money and power, in actually being in control of fiat money and power. Reason being that if they create that, machine that uses only water, which is hydrogen and oxygen, remember that there will be no one will hold the monopoly of oil price. No one will hold the monopoly of gas price. No one will hold the monopoly of all this. And those things are eco-friendly. So they don't want it, because they want to serve their own agenda. Power mongering and the warmongers. Those are what we call the malevolent. So they've decided that everything they are going to put out there is going to be turned upside down, including your education system. Guys, if you are here, kindly tap the screen. Whenever TikTok start doing this, it means sometimes we are saying what we're not supposed to say, basically. If you are here, tap the screen, please. So this is exactly what we are actually struggling with. If we begin to understand our purpose, if we understand that the reason why we were removed from paradise was because of greed, was because you want that which you do not own. That is the reason. That's the reason why we were placed in a purgatory, hellfire, materialistic world. That is hellfire. That's where we are living right now. So that's why you will not know. You will be told what they want you to know. And the ones they don't want you to know, they make it so difficult for you to understand them. And once it is difficult for you to understand them, it means that sometimes you will not try to look for them. Now, think about this. If I want to place this, if I want to, because let's call what I'm doing right now as a theory. If I want to actually challenge the status quo of science and cosmologians, I create a math, right? I create a math that will back these things that I'm talking about up, because you have to create a math. Apparently, if you create a mathematical equation that will back your theory up, that means you are serious, and that means you will go to peer review and all that, which of course it's not going to go anywhere because you are speaking the truth. First of all, they will bring to you people who are overly indoctrinated, who becomes indoctrinated themselves to challenge you in their own perspective, not to challenge you in your own perspective. When they challenge you in their own perspective, of course, you cannot stand a chance. They created this. They will use it to make you sound stupid. But it does not mean that it is the reality. The reality of this matter is what you see in front of you, you analyze it. That is the reality. You analyze them. Once you are able to do the analysis, you will be able to understand. And you need to know that anything that you are, if I am to actually, push for revolutionizing the education system, I will also push for introduction of education by logic and critical thinking. Education that that promotes logic and critical thinking. Those are the type of education that we need, so that we will be able to analyze that which is in front of us, because the truth is in a plain sight. And you've been digging deep to find the truth. You are searching for the truth where you can never find them. Now, let us go to, let me do this. One moment. But I want you, for those of you who might not be here until the end, one thing you need to understand, you need to take home right now is that, take home with you that those who say they are going to other planets, they are not going to other planets through the firmament. You cannot exit the firmament. That's why I told you that the planet beneath the planet Earth, they still have the sky just like us. They have the same sky like us, but they are beneath the planet Earth. That's why they don't want you to know that there are planets beneath the planet Earth. They want you to believe that the planet is just there and the sky orbiting each other. Now you ask them, they use the microscope, the telescope to see the planet, the position of this planet. I want those of them that look into those telescope and some of the apps, because I happen to have some of this app that I paid for, to see these celestial bodies that they are talking about, the positions of them. Most of these things are scam. And now I want you to understand that everything you see on top of your, on top there by the firmament is a reflection. It is not the original. It is here. We are here. We are reflecting there up, because it's like a mirror of the world. Firmament is the mirror of the world. It reflects the what we have here on the ground. It does not reflect that every anything that is there. Every planet is there, is here with us. We can exit it through the gate, Earth gate, ocean gate. Now this begs the question: those people who actually, were there was a time when people were going to the sea floor, traveling up to more than 5 kilometers away from the sea surface to the ground to go and see the Titanic wreckage. Where were they going? Where were they going? Because I don't I don't believe they are only going to the Titanic wreckage. Where were they going? But I will not talk much about that. So let us now let's depict the spherical earth. After depicting the spherical earth that they're talking about, I will show you what if the gateway that leads us to Mars. I will show you what if it looks like this. But before we get there, let's get back to the basic. Let's get back to the basic. This is what they have given to you, right? Now let me do the okay. Let's do this. Let's do some some illustration here. I try to use I hope it isn't gonna fail, because this computer that I'm using is actually, sometimes quite crazy. I don't want to reformat it because I'm going to lose a lot of things. Oh, so let's bring this. First of all, let's create what I just showed you before as the easiest way to understand your Earth. Easiest way to understand the Milky Way. If we do it this way, we might be able to understand them. So we are creating the planet in our galaxy. That's what we are trying to create, how it is. Okay, now let me create the sun. Let me create the sun and place it where it should be. Neat axis. This is the axis of the sun. When the sun is moving here, this is our planet Earth. This is the planet that directly beneath the planet Earth. Planet Earth, the ice walls, the planet beneath the planet Earth. Let me use some of something to create something like a gate. Let's find what can give us a gate. Use that as a gate. We might call it a gate, but now look at this. This is the sun orbit. This is our galaxy. This is Earth in the middle. This is the position of the sun. Now, if this is position of the sun, how on earth did they bring this sun from here to here? How on earth did they bring the sun from here to here? Where did it come from? Because it doesn't exist. Now, let's try to now find out. I am going to show you the proof of what we're talking about. Let me try to bring these things together. Don't forget, you can actually take a picture of what you have in your screen, because we are going to do something else to confirm that. Now let's do this. This is what they give us. A spherical earth. When they give us this, they can give us, lies with it. Damn. What? The mouse is running. Now, this is a kind of what they give us as three-dimensional space. But now let's bring sides, because there must be sides. This is a kind of what keeps us three-dimensional space. There is up, side, and down. Up, side, and down. That is, what they are showing us as where we live. But where we live is here, not this. Not this. This is where we live. Because three-dimensional space, the side, the down, and the up, the higher altitude, which is the reason why they had to create a sun here. They have to put the sun here. And after putting, not only put the sun here, they had to put all these spheres, the sphere. These have to now start, I have to minimize them, start placing them here, placing them here, placing them here, so that they will be orbiting the sun. They will start running around the sun, which is an invalid. That's why in your Milky Way, what you see first, in your Milky Way, what you see first is this, the sun, in the middle. That's the way they made it to be. They replaced the planet Earth with the sun, and they take planet Earth and place it somewhere here, when it is actually an indoctrination, a lie. This is exactly what our Milky Way look like. Of course, if we pull it up, because this is like a ring, the one in the middle is higher altitude, followed by this one, then goes to this, goes to this, goes to this. So there is more access through the sea to other planets than through the firmament. There is no access through the firmament, because anyone who goes to the other planets, they are going through the sea, because the sun is here. The sun is here, which is a plasma. The sun is here, which is a plasma. If the sun is a plasma, what is the moon? This is the axis of the sun in our solar system, in our galaxy. This is the axis of the sun. This is Earth. Then what is this? Mars, right? Earth, Mars, and then that is it. This is Earth, this is Mars, and this should be I have forgotten what that should be, but now if we go to, this is the depiction of how it is. Now if it is this way, that is exactly the same thing you saw here. Let's go back to this. That's the exact same thing. Exact same thing you saw here. But the only thing you cannot see here is the sun. That's the only thing you cannot see here is the sun, right? But now I place the sun where it should be, in that place, in this axis. The sun covers here. The sun is for Earth. The sun is for Mars. The sun is for the rest of this planet because it's gigantic. The moon stays here. The moon stays here. I forgot to add the moon. Let's add the moon. The moon has both, two sides. The dark side and the bright side. What can I use for the moon? Pardon me if I use anything. I can use this for the moon. Now let's bring the equator. Let's just add the equator so that the moon will be placed properly. What can we use? Okay. Let's use this. We can use this to measure the position of the equator to the moon. Let's create the dark side of the moon. Let's try to create the dark side. This is exactly our galaxy, how it looks. This differentiates, this signifies where the center of the equator began. The moon, the light side of the moon and the dark spot of the moon. The sun, this is their axis. This is how they are. This is how they are. Well, this is what the Malevolent tell us we have as a plane, as our Earth sphere. This is the reality of our planet. When you see those planets that they show you orbiting where, of course, when you see the galaxy, they show you this as a ring and the other things are orbiting it. That's not true. Those are flat plane. They created their own balls around it, their own spheres, their own globe around it to start, orbiting. Planet Earth is number one, stationary. The moon and the sun travels around planet Earth. Planet Earth is a flat plane, and the position of the north and south is the position of your two legs. Your two legs, it is not your legs to head. It is your left and right. Your left and right is the position of the north and south. It is not up and down. It is left and right. Maybe we can also do the depiction of that. Maybe let me do the depiction of that and show you what it looks like. If we take that position to where it should be, do we have the pictures of the map? Let's try to find out if I can find any map on this PC so that we can depict. I am going to see your questions in the comment section. I will see your questions. I will attend to the comments. I will attend to the comments. It looks like I can't see. I didn't have any map in this computer. But if I don't have any map on this computer, we can just, let me depict it with something. We can easily use this. We can easily use this to, to make a map. If we cannot find a map, we can use this to create a map. Where is it? One moment. Okay, if we look at this, this is supposed to be how it is. You see, north should be here, south should be here, north here, south here. Remember that this map is already, it's, let me try to save, then we go and view it so that we can be able to twist or turn this map. I didn't even check where I saved. Hold on a moment. So let us view here. Damn. Now, if we want to do this way, where it should be, this map is actually not the way it should be. But if we remove this one, if we remove this, the place we know as a north today, this should be the position of our African map. This should be the position of African map. When we remove the below one, it should be the position of African map instead of it being this way. African map is not supposed to be this way. It should be this way. That's the position of African map. This is where they call the south, which is the north. And this where they call the north is the south. Egypt is in the south. South is in the north. That's the way it's supposed to be. Then, if we want to, position it to global north and global south, you find it to be this way. These two guys, Swift Eagle goes this way, and this guy follows it. This man goes this way. This one becomes the north, while this one stays this side and becomes the south. Two different gods. Two different gods. The gods from here, we're going to talk about it if I actually, get the chance, maybe Sunday or tomorrow, we could talk about the one here, which is supposed to be the natural order. This is supposed to be always about natural order, because everything that helps nature to thrive is within this axis. So it's supposed to be the natural order. So that's the way it is. And it makes it difficult for us to understand what's going on here. Now let us bring this up. Let me bring I want you to see here. What you see here is a compass. And a compass cannot work in a flat plane. No, a flat compass cannot work in a sphere, in a globe, because globe is layered, right? The magnetic field cannot align with the flat plane compass. Regardless of what Google is going to tell you, or whatever you are going to use to research is going to tell you, they have a spherical compass, but they cannot use it because it is actually, problematic, or regardless of what they give you as an excuse, as per reason why they cannot use the spherical compass they created. But instead, they stick to this compass, because anything you want to create must depict that thing in nature that you are creating it for. This is the earth. Remember, this is the earth, body of earth, magnetic, the center of earth, which is here, equator, here. Now, if the magnetic north and south, the way it should be, the magnetic north and south, they are the ones making this to work. Because the reason why you see aeroplane having a wing is because it is depicting a winged creature, a winged bird that is able to create equal and opposite force that actually, push what is called gravity up and down. But in a flat plane, the concept of gravity is quite questionable. It is questionable. We know there is up and down. If you jump up, definitely you're going to come down. If you jump up, we come down. We know that outside or in our space, if you go to space, things that float in the space, not out of space. If things can float in the space, it is because of the magnetic field that is up there, because we are made of many things. Our body is made of different elements. So, when you go up there, if you can float, it means that the magnetic field within, the realm up there is also, working in line with the magnetic field that is within our own realm. They align with each other. So if you jump up, you come down. If you jump up, you come down. There is nothing that is pulling you down. What is pulling you down is because you are a matter. You are a matter that emits light. You are a matter that a solid matter. If you go up, you come down. You go up, you come down. Except if you know how to go, if you are able to create a technology that makes you stay up. That's it. If you go into the ocean, if you know how to swim, you swim the ocean. If you don't know how to swim, you will drown. And when you drown, it pulls you to the top because you are no longer alive or conscious. So it will not pull you down no more. It is pulling you up because your sentience is gone. Your fear is gone. Your fear pulls you down. When it is gone, it brings you to the surface of the water. So this issue of gravity is still what I am still trying to understand. But in a flat plane, what we have is magnetic field that works north and south magnetic field, which enables these compacts to move. And these compacts cannot be representing planet Earth, which is spherical or globe, whilst the compass is a flat plane. It can never happen. It can never happen. So whoever that, lied to you also gave you a clue to actually, transcend their lies. That's why I continue to tell you the lies and the truth is actually on the surface. It is not so far from you. You just need to decipher. You just need to, analyze the truth, using the things that they gave to you. That's why many people who will pick up Bible or Quran and burn it, it is ignorant. Because there are things you need to use. You can get from there to decipher the lies that was told to you. Because that book has everything, mathematics of words. The only thing that the malevolent want to be given to you is mathematics of numbers that forms equation, which is much difficult for many to understand or solve. Because everything that must go through a peer review must have its own equation, mathematics, and solution. That's exactly how they model their own pattern, so that you will never, come close. Newton has a lot to Newton eventually promoted this spherical Earth. That's one of the fuck up Newton did. He promoted spherical Earth after this man called Copernicus. So one thing Newton promoted was about the movement of Earth, that Earth is orbiting, which is a lie, because he talks about the gravity, the law of gravity. In his law of gravity, he talks about the equal and opposite, gravitational force. It talks about something like equal and opposite something. I can't remember vividly, to quote him verbatim, but I know in his law of motion, he talks about the equal and opposite reaction of every action, which is, every energy that is actually released, or you can also say electricity, that will also be equal and opposite reaction to it. So that's exactly what Newton did. That is actually a fuck up to his career, even though he's no more. But look at this. How can Newton not see that the technology that you are using to navigate Earth must look like Earth? How did they not see? If they had given you the compass that is spherical, when you are going in your spherical Earth, you carry your spherical compass, then I will believe that the Earth is flat. But spherical compacts, which they created just for you to use for Google to for search engines or those who look for their, because I know as we are talking about it, people who are also intelligent will be making a research about it. If you make a research about the compact that is spherical, it is used as a people collectors are collecting it because it's like a decoration at homes. Decoration, just like you see spherical earth. Those things you buy, you keep it at home. That's what the compact, spherical compacts is used for. It is used for decoration at home. Why? Why isn't it placed in your ship? Why isn't it placed in your aeroplane? Why isn't it placed in your vehicle that you may use them to navigate the earth that is flat? Because it will not work accurately, because in the three-dimensional space there is up, there is side, there is down. In a two-dimensional space, which is our flat surface, there is only length and width. When you see up, you see it as your computer panel. When you see up, which is like the mountain they talk about, when you see the mountain, you see it as in your computer panel. You see those, because mountain is actually things that balance the earth, things that create extras, stones that balance the earth. That's exactly what mountain does. That's exactly what it is all about. It is not, mountain can actually be, some mountain you can actually construct a road by, digging through the mountain. You can construct a road through the mountain, right? So that is to show you that mountain is also movable. We are living in a flat plane. That's why we have this. That's why we have this, because it's a flat plane. Everything that depicts or represents that in nature must look like every technology that you want to use to represent the things that you found in nature must look like the things that you found in nature for it to work accurately. Aeroplane has a wing like the birds. That's why it is able to stay stable on top. Now, the only thing you need to create is what they call anti-gravity. And gravity is about things that is able to trap air. Now, to pull, to pull up from the ground zero, you need to create things that actually create, force that pushes a lot of air, to the ground, that lift and drag, that create lift and drag. Technology, we are going to actually invent technology, but we are going there. We are going there. We need support. We need support. We are going to invent technologies, because technology, the secret of every technology is understanding the natural phenomena, understanding the functions of things in the nature, understanding this our realm, everything that exists in our realm, understanding them is how you can bring up things. You recreate the nature artificially to help you navigate certain things. But the type of technology we must actually focus on inventing is technology that is actually eco-friendly. Eco-friendly. It is not too expensive, but the malevolent, the reason why they cannot create those technology, it is because it will not enable them to sell oil and hold monopoly of oil price and etc. Now, many people might think when we talk about UFO, because of course I don't know anybody who will be here and they believe that there is no existence of UFO, you must be delusional, or maybe you are out of this planet. UFO leave their signature on your sky every day, but you might not figure them out. They leave their signature on your sky every day. You don't see them. You know why you cannot see their signature? You cannot see their signature because you see them, the signature, but you cannot actually understand them. You can't figure them out because you only figure out signatures of the things that make noise up there. UFO, the reason why they might be on top of your head in the sky, but you will not see them. They will appear invincible. Do you know why? Because the speed of their craft, actually help them to manipulate time and space. They are able to use the speed to manipulate, time and space, because when you spin so fast, you align with you will align with the atmosphere, with the space. You won't, your signature will no longer, like if you see a fan, let's just take example of a fan. When the fan is spinning, if it is spinning so fast, you might struggle to see the blade. So that's how their own, spacecraft is faster, I believe faster than the speed of light. So when they are spinning, you don't see them, but you see their signature. That's exactly what's happening there. They always leave signature on the sky, but many of us see them, but we don't know what it is. But one day I am going to take a picture of one, what the signature look like, and I'm going to show you so that you will know they are around us, moving all over the place, because Earth is their motherland. Earth is what created their own realm. Earth is the mother of every planet in the galaxy. That's why Earth is in the middle. It was expanding because there is no beginning, there is no end. There are possibilities that in a million years we will have more planets in our galaxy, because the more it expands, it continues to look for a place of compactment where it will compact. If it can't find a place where it can compact, it continues to expand. That's exactly what it looks like, what it is. So if let me look for something quickly. The last thing before we call it a day, if I can find this. Okay, before we go to find this, let's see this. Before we go there, you remove the shining star here, place it here. Take this light, place it here. Call this place Earth. You call this place Mars. Then the sun axis here. The sun orbit rotates like the way the hand of your clock rotates. The way the clock rotates is the same way the sun rotates. The same way the sun rotates is the way the hand of the clock rotates. But the only thing is that the sun is rotating from the left-hand side. Our clock is rotating from the right-hand side, which is one of the reasons why you should know the reason why it is like that is the position of the north and the position of the south. The south magnetic field and the north magnetic field, they turned it upside down in the compass and in the clock. That's why it is rotating the other side. So the sun rotates this way. their own sun in their own theory now rotate this way. That's why the clock is rotating to what we call clockwise and anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is supposed to be the rotation of the sun. If we can bring the north and the south and place it where your foot is, your two legs represent north and south, put it here on each other, north and south, then the rotation of that will come back to the natural order, because the only thing the Malevolent started doing in the 16th century is to make sure that they actually turn everything against the natural order of the nature. That's why we disconnected to the source. Or if you go against the order of the nature, you are in a materialistic world, hellfire. You are going to serve the malevolent in the need and the want of all things. You will struggle to get anything you want, and a materialistic world, material things makes you feel great, right? So that's exactly what is going on. If we can transcend materialistic world and understand the importance of love. There was someone who asked me, I don't know if you are here, you asked me how can we follow the immutable law of the source. The most important things about the immutable law of the source, you see, you do to other people what you want, or you will have other people do to you. That's one of the most, because if you don't want other people to take your wife, you wouldn't take other people's wife, of course. If you don't want other people to steal what belongs to you, you will not steal what belongs to other people. If you don't want people to unalive you, you will not unalive other people. If you don't want people to, hate your children, you wouldn't hate other people's children. So this is the immutable law of nature. It is established like a code that is unbendable for anyone. If you violate, it has its own repercussion. The only reason why there has been a delay in this repercussion and the law of reciprocity is because the consciousness of judgment, which came with the altruistic behavior that came with the man they depict as Jesus. The first man that actually inherited such consciousness, was original man. And this man was unalived because it's a consciousness that all need to embrace. If we embrace that consciousness is the reason why when we think about, if you hear that someone unalive someone, instead of giving them jungle justice right now, you ask question, what happened? Is it by accident? Is it premeditated? How did it happen? Before you pass judgment. That is exactly what you saw in the book that talks about, if you know you have not done something like this, cast the first stone. Because the first stone signifies, if you know that you don't like this woman did, make sure you have not done it before. Before you judge somebody, look through yourself. Because you might be judging someone on something that you have done in the past. So do to others what you want others to do unto you. It is the law of the source, immutable law, that was released to take care of the sentient being, to take care of the ecosystem, to make sure that man is placed, because after the source, you find earth. The source is the highest, earth follows, the rest of the planet that he gave birth to, because the source gave birth to the planet earth gave birth to the rest of the planet, so it goes on and on and on. Every planet you gave birth to, you stay on top of it and they stay beneath you. So that's how it is. And when they look up, what they see is the firmament. That is how wonderful, that is how wonderful I am that I am is. The source, I am that I am, a frequency, energy. Energy can never, die. It's a frequency. It can actually, it is in everything. The frequency of I am, it's in everything that came, because everything, both good and evil, came from him, came from it, not him. Both good and evil came from it. It encompasses everything, good and evil. But there will be no good if evil never existed. It is through evil that we decipher what is good. If evil never existed, we might not understand the meaning of good. So, good and evil are there for our learning and our growth. But when sentence being decide to embrace negativity, because if you come to your every electric circuit, there is positive, there is negative. Positive is charged, negative is not. Negative you see is not, but positive cannot do without that negative, because it takes two to tangle. But now, if we understand that in sentient human, there is good, there is bad. When you allow the bad to actually take control of you, you become the devil. So there is nothing that is actually called the devil itself. The devil is everybody who want to become him. God is everybody who want to become him, because everything that came from the source came with those good and bad. I create good, I create evil. I create light, I create darkness. But don't forget, darkness is closer to the source than the light. The creation of the light is the negativity of darkness. That's why vilification of darkness started with I don't want to mention, but I want you to also understand that darkness is not evil. Darkness is not evil. Light is disruptive. Light is artificial. Light was created. Darkness was not created. So we continue to vilify darkness because there is cosmic saga that is going on between darkness and light, and this cosmic saga that is going on between darkness and light is also depicting itself in our own realm, in our own reality. That's why you see there is saga between the people of the light skin and the people of the dark skin. This started from our cosmic, it started from the cosmos. It didn't start with human, it started from the cosmos. Remember, light never existed. Immediately when light came into existence, because immediately when it came to existence, darkness actually, gave way for it to come. Darkness is actually something that is, it allows others to exist. It allows others to exist, but others take advantage of it because of its peaceful nature. That's exactly what's going on. So darkness allowed light to exist. Light now believes that it is more superior because when it appears, darkness actually, stay calm. But now light get tired, darkness can never die. Darkness will never die because it is, the image of the source. It stays put patiently until light get tired and move away. It appears naturally. It doesn't matter how long the light shines upon it, it will eventually appear. That is darkness, virtue, patient, So this is a lot of things that we need to understand. The people who call themselves the gods, we saw them as gods. There are negative part of them, there are positive part of them, and negative part of them is fighting the positive part of them. Who is going to win? North and South, they are in a saga. Who is going to rule? That's the way it is. We are going to go deep into it. So, but wherever you see this, switch off this light. Anywhere you see this, switch off this light, place our planet Earth here. The light stays here, and the light roll around the planet Earth because the light is what we use to calculate the time. The way we use the clock to calculate the time, the way the hand of the clock is moving is the way the light is moving. So the light that calculates the time, we know that it is connected to the field, but it is actually the numbers of the clock is where the light is targeted at. The numbers of the clock is where the light moves on. The light does not move the light does not actually count from the equator. The equator has a lot to do with the movement of the light, but the light is not counting on the equator. It is counting on the axis, the numbers in your clock. So they are aligning with each other. That's why they are able to correspond with the time in our realm. And it can never be possible if they are not in the same shape and the same position. It will never work together. So we come back here, we see here, this is different, this is planets. This is different planets in different galaxies. It is not just planets, this is galaxies. These are galaxies. Now, this is the Earth in the middle of all of them. In the middle, because they all depend on Earth. They all depend on Earth, the motherland. They depend on Earth, the motherland. That's where they all depends on. This is our galaxy here. This is Nibiru. Now, for you to understand that when you use telescope to go, check the sky to see the position of these celestial bodies, you are seeing a mirror. What you are seeing is a mirror. You are not really seeing, the original stuff. It is the mirror of that you are seeing. And remember, the planet beneath the Earth has its own firmament, but the same firmament is what we have here. It's what we have here. It is something that is quite, it has a lot of nuances and, complicated. But I know that we will understand it. The day we are going to wake up and see things for what they are and stop actually digging deep. Make it simple for yourself. You will understand it. We're going to be back tomorrow. By the same time, we're going to be back tomorrow the same time, if time permits us. And of course, if you are with us, we've been here for Well, okay. We have like 13 minutes to go. So let me go through the comment. Uh, I want, if you have questions, you can actually ask me question. If you want question, you can ask me question. Um, Many things are the opposite, Kara. Many things are the opposite. Not really everything. There must be something that will give you the sense of what you are looking for. So not everything. Not everything is turned upside down. It is truth mixed with some, catchy lies. So that's exactly what they did. Let's see. I think I saw some question from someone. I'm trying to look at that. I didn't want that to interrupt me while I was talking. What is this? So I think I don't have much question. People are still confused on what I'm talking about because, of course, you assess first, you get used to it, then you engage. I understand that. We are going to continue to push. All you need to do is when you come, don't go up and down. You will pick up something to go home. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am not perfect. The only thing that is perfect is the source that does not have sentience. But I know whenever you come here, you will pick up something. Nkem, Anamad, brother, it's been a while. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I wish I know whom you are, but I'm going to look you up. I'm going to look up the profile. I will check you out to remember whom you are. But I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And Jake the Booker or Jake the Brooker say this is a joke, right? But like it's satire. I don't even understand what you're talking about, Mr. Jake. I don't understand what you're talking about, Mr. Jake. Maybe you can clear it up for me to understand what you are talking about. If you can clear it up, then I will understand you, Mr. Jake. So we don't have much questions. Let's see. Thank you, Kara. Appreciate you too for joining us. So I guess we do not have questions. Did I finalize what I was doing here? Okay. I guess I finalized what I was doing here. Maybe tomorrow we will show you the evidence. I will show you the evidence to this tomorrow. The evidence to what we give you here. We will show you the evidence tomorrow. If time permits us, I will bring the evidence to this. When time permits us, then we will eventually understand it further. If time permits us, we will show you the evidence to this. This is the sun, this is the moon. The moon is local to Earth. If the moon is not a plasma, someone might go to it. Someone can go to it. If it is not a plasma, someone can go to it. But I know the sun is a plasma. So I believe that. Okay, there is something I want to show you also. Because If you understand this, let me use this, this type of circle to draw what I want to draw. The reason what you see here, they have different timelines, right? Different timelines. Timelines. These are different timelines in different dimensions, in different, planets. Now, these timelines can collapse. These timelines can collapse. That's why people are so scared of that technology in somewhere in the north that might actually create, mess up the timeline because of the collide, collision that they are actually practicing or they are doing. It might collapse our timeline, but they will never agree to that. So let me try to show you something. Two circle of the flower of life, because there is something I want to actually create here. I want to create something here. These two circle, if I put it here, we're going to use this type of circle so that we will get what we are looking for. I know those shapes inside will mess things up, but the shape inside will also enable us to have to measure the shapes, the shape of what we are looking for. It enables us to measure what we are looking for. I want to show you. There is something I want to show you quickly. I'm not going to draw everything, but because we are done for the day, we are done. So let's do this for the sake of measurement. Now, what you see here is the interconnectedness between everything in our existence. That's what we see here in a flower of life. Let me actually, okay, let me move this. Let's move this. Let's bring it to the middle. Now we bring more too. Let's do more too on the sides. I'm not going to complete it in different on top, on the length. We'll put here. We'll put here, and we'll bring it this side. Now we'll create the last one. Yeah, you see, with this shape, it actually, even though this those shapes in here is actually messing it up, but we can see the shapes of those flowers, the shapes of those flowers. We can see it in this thing. What it is telling us is that if we want to use it to analyze this planet, if we want to use it to analyze this planet, you will find out that the center, which gave birth to the rest of these things, the center is on top. The center is on top, gave birth to the rest of them. So if there is a gateway, to get in to this place, if there is a gateway to get into this place, that gateway might be like a tunnel, and when we talk about a tunnel, we might be thinking about something like this. A tunnel with we'll think about something like this. So that tunnel takes us to the other realm. The tunnel takes us to the other realm. And from this other realm, the firmament remains the same. Even though it is different, it remains the same. And now, on top of the firmament, on top here, it's made up of water. It's made up of water. That is actually what depicts our firmament. What is on top here? On top of our firmament, it is made of water. So that's why the firmament is impermeable. And remember, the flat earth we talk about, the flat earth that we are talking about, and the positions of all these things that we are talking about is basically, it is our reality. It is our reality before the rise of Greek and the Roman Empire. It was the reality before the rise of Greek and Roman Empire. They started changing all these things. They changed all these things. Flat earth was like part of culture, belief, cultural, not really belief. It is what people know because everything used to be closer to us. Everything used to be closer to the people. Everything was closer to the people, the ancient people. Things were closer to them. So when things were closer to them, they were able to see the galaxy. They were able to see things that we can no longer see today because there has been a lot of restriction today also. And there has been a lot of shift. Everything was closer. So they are able to see exactly what we are actually using telescope to see today. They were able to see them. Nature was still in order. Everything was human friendly. So they saw this thing firsthand before the people who came with colonization mindset and the indoctrination and restriction came with their own narrative to make sure that they remove that which was seen firsthand. That's exactly what's happening. But those who saw it firsthand, they never die. They are still alive because energy does not die. Energy does not die. That's why you can never, destroy something that is, the truth, natural. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you do, how long you try to hide the truth, it will eventually come to reality. Don't worry. we are going to win. All you need to do is to discover whom you are, discover yourself. You will win. Once you are able to discover yourself, know whom you are, you win. Because we are going somewhere. We are going somewhere. Our planet Earth is stationary, does not move. If it moves, if you wake up tomorrow, the north will be the other side, somewhere else. While the south goes somewhere else. It will be changing. It will be changing if the earth is rotating. It is common sense. Even if you say, or you want to bring a logic that the earth it's moving with us, so everything remains the same, there is no such. It cannot move with you that if I wake me up any time of the night, tell me to point towards north. And if we go there, it is still the north. Why isn't it changing? But they tell you earth is moving. Make it make sense. The truth is out there on the surface, but you are digging deep where it is not. Until we meet again. Bye for now. Thank you for joining.